He was found dead at 11:30 p.m., but the security footage shows him walking out of his own house an hour later. The evidence pointed to a clear killer. The motive was perfect, but something didn't add up. And the shocking truth? The victim wasn't just a victim. He was the mastermind. Arthur Finch was a man of impeccable habit. Every night at precisely 11:45 p.m., he would walk from his Victorian home to the all-night diner 2 blocks away. He would order a black coffee, sit in the same vinyl booth, and read for exactly 1 hour before returning home at 12:45 a.m. He was a clockwork man in a chaotic world, which is why, when Arthur was found murdered in his study, bludgeoned with a heavy marble bookend at 11:30 p.m., the case seemed impossibly simple. The killer had been caught on the home security system, which Arthur dutifully maintained. The footage was crystal clear. At 10 p.m., his business partner, Liam Croft, was seen arriving at the house. The two had a very public, very heated argument in the study. The audio picked up Liam shouting, "This is the last time you'll cross me, Arthur. I'll ruin you." 15 minutes later, Liam stormed out, looking furious. The camera timestamp read 10:17 p.m. Arthur was seen alive on camera, pacing in his study until 10:55 p.m., when he turned off the lights and presumably settled into his armchair. He was not seen again. The coroner placed the time of death firmly between 11 p.m. and midnight. Liam was arrested within hours. His motive was strong. Arthur had uncovered Liam's massive embezzlement and was going to the police in the morning. The opportunity was perfect. He was the last person seen with the victim. The evidence was damning. His fingerprints were all over the murder weapon, and a strand of his distinctively red hair was found on the victim's body. Liam's defense was a desperate, sputtering mess. He admitted to the argument, but claimed he left Arthur alive and well. He swore he was home alone by 10:30, a claim he couldn't prove. The prosecution painted him as a cold, calculated killer. A conviction was a foregone conclusion. The trial was swift. The jury was ready to deliberate. It seemed over, but Detective Inspector Eva Rostova couldn't sleep. It was too perfect. The clear motive, the convenient camera footage, the blatant evidence left behind. It felt like a performance. Her breakthrough came not from the crime scene, but from Arthur's habits. She was reviewing his credit card statements and saw the daily charge from the diner. The night he was killed, a charge had been processed at 12:02 a.m. for his usual black coffee. Asterisk, but how? He was already dead. She went back to the security footage. She watched Liam leave at 10:17 p.m. She watched Arthur pace until 10:55 p.m. and turn off the light. And then she saw it. The one thing everyone had missed, because it was so mundane, so expected. Every night after his reading hour, Arthur would return home at 12:45 a.m., and every night, the motion sensor security light on his porch would flare to life, triggered by his approach. On the night of the murder, the security light turned on at 12:43 a.m., 2 minutes before he was supposed to return home. Someone had come to the house. Someone the system recognized. Eva requested the raw, unedited data logs from the security system, not just the video. And there she found the twist. The system had a fingerprint scanner on the front door, a fact Arthur had never shared. The log showed an authorized entry at 11:05 p.m. after the study light was turned off, and another authorized exit at 12:40 a.m. just before the porch light triggered. The person who entered and left the house at the time of the murder wasn't Liam. It was Arthur Finch himself. Arthur Finch wasn't the victim. He was the architect. He had discovered Liam's embezzlement and saw a way out of his own miserable life. He staged everything. He knew his own habits were his alibi. He provoked the argument with Liam, making sure to plant his hair and ensure his fingerprints were on the bookend. After Liam left, Arthur planted the final damning evidence. Then, at 10:55 p.m., he turned off his study light. In the darkness, he used a secret passage from his study, a relic of the old house he'd never told anyone about, to leave the house. Avoiding the main cameras, he then walked to the diner, used his prepaid card to create a transaction, and returned home just before 12:45 a.m., triggering the porch light as he always did. But before going inside, he put on gloves, re-entered through the front door, logging the entry, and went back into his study through the secret passage. In the study, in the dark, was a homeless man Arthur had plied with alcohol and sleeping pills, a man who bore a passing resemblance to him from behind, a man who was now unconscious in Arthur's chair, wearing Arthur's clothes. Arthur bludgeoned the helpless man with the bookend, ensuring the blow was fatal. He then arranged the body, exited through the secret passage one last time, and left the house through the front door at 12:40 a.m., logging his exit. He immediately fled into the night with the embezzled funds he had secretly siphoned from Liam, a man now perfectly framed for his murder. Arthur Finch was dead, and he was thousands of miles away, free, wealthy, and watching the trial of the man he had destroyed. The perfect murder wasn't about getting away with killing someone else. It was about getting away with killing himself.